Outlander Season 6 is all wrapped up and will be released in March 2022. The thing is, Jamie and Claire's future is quite uncertain, with a big tragedy ahead. Here's what we know about it. A burned house. Both Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe will be back as Jamie and Claire Fraser, taking us on the journey of their amazing love story. With Outlander Season 6 moving closer to its release date, fans have been suggesting plenty of tragic theories that unfortunately make a lot of sense. To be honest, Outlander is a tragic show, with every new season bringing more and more drama to our beloved couple. And despite being shorter in terms of episodes, Outlander Season 6 will have Jamie and Claire go through a lot of struggles and, well, a potential death. The first thing we need to talk about is the storylines from Diana Gabaldon's novels. How much of them will be utilized? How will Jamie and Claire's saga end? With the Revolutionary War coming, a lot of fans believe Jamie Fraser and his wife Claire will go separate ways in the future. So far, it was confirmed that the Christie family will emerge at Fraser's Ridge, and because of this, a lot of fans got worried for the future of Jamie and Claire. If you're one of those dedicated fans who has already read the novels, you know that Malva Christia, portrayed by Jessica Reynolds in the Netflix's original, will poison Claire, and because of that, Claire is then very ill. However, that's not all. Malva also claims that Jamie is the father of her unborn baby. Because Malva is an evil person, she somehow gets tangled in the problem she caused, so she ends up dead. The thing is, Claire is now accused of her murder, which is pretty bad for her future with her beloved husband. Probably one of the worst paragraphs fans got to read in the novel was the one with Claire and Jamie's house being burned down. And because we already saw Diana Fraser, a character portrayed by Sophie Skelton, discovering an obituary for the pair in which they were both signed as dead, we know that the future of the couple is not so bright. Here's what we think. The previously mentioned reliable theories will be utilized in Season 7 or Season 8, and because this is Outlander, we don't really expect a happily ever after for Jamie and Claire. We believe the show will leave us devastated with some awful storyline. But then again, only time will tell. According to some fans, Season 6 will end with Jamie and Claire separated as they head to New Bern. It's not certain whether the entire plot stories of the source material will be used, but we hope the show will go its own original way. What you should keep in mind is that not every plot is adapted from the books for the television series. Do you guys think Jamie and Claire will face these troubles in the future seasons of Outlander? Let us know! Now, let's continue with more details regarding...
The first man forward will be the first man down.
Claire's arrest. As we previously said, Claire is expected to be accused of something she didn't do in the following episodes of Outlander. What is supposed to happen, if the show goes entirely according to the novels, is Richard Brown arresting Claire for the murder of Malva and her unborn child. If this indeed happens, we will probably see it at the very end of Season 6, so that the new season could also end on a cliffhanger. We would be glad if the show plays with these storylines a bit and makes Richard responsible for the previously mentioned fire. According to the Writers Guild of America West, the 6th episode of the season might be named The World Turned Upside Down, which is the same name as Chapter 80 in ABOSA, In that chapter, we've witnessed a lot of drama, as this is the time when Malva announces she's pregnant and claims that Jamie is the father. If this happens in episode 6, it is likely that Claire will be arrested in the finale of the same season. As previously mentioned, the show has already been renewed for a 6th season, with unofficial reports that a potential spin-off is also under development. Another great thing is that Diana Gabaldon is continuing to write books in her Outlander series, which are the source material for the TV adaptation. She's close to finishing her 9th novel, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, and as she mentioned in the past, Outlander will have a total of 10 books. Would you guys want the TV adaptation to resume following the same plot as in the novels? Let us know. Now, let's talk about something much more intriguing. Claire and Jamie's obituary. Ever since Season 4, we've all been thinking about Brianna discovering an obituary that says Claire and James Fraser die in a house fire on Fraser's Ridge. As previously mentioned, the fire occurs at the end of A Breath of Snow and Ashes. And this happens because of a simple accident. The house on Fraser's Ridge does burn down, but because there are more books under development, Claire and Jamie will survive. The house is, unfortunately, all burned down, and this is when Jamie and Claire go back to Scotland. Jamie's ghost. One thing that confused fans a lot was Jamie's ghost in Season 1. Because it is difficult for fans to wait for Season 6, they've been binge-watching the show again and again. And this is when they've come upon a very interesting, dare we say, detail that somehow spoils the future of Jamie and Claire. The highly anticipated 6th season of Outlander is set to return to our screens soon, and because of that, the theories regarding Jamie's ghost have increased these last few months. Well, let's solve the mystery of Jamie's ghost. Season 1 started with Claire working as a nurse during World War I, and a bit later in Season 1, she goes on a second honeymoon with her husband. Everything was fine until she discovered some bizarre stones which transported her 202 years into the past. Because this was the most captivating storyline in Season 1, fans forgot to pay attention to one less captivating detail. Well, to be fair, we never knew this could mean something back when we first started watching Outlander Season 1. However, viewers saw Frank, Claire's husband, spot a ghost staring at Claire through a window. For those of you who noticed the ghost, we believe you first thought the ghost was Jamie's. Well, that makes sense, but we should also consider the fact that Jamie and Claire weren't introduced to each other in Season 1, Episode 1. In the episode, Frank comes back to his room, and Claire says, "You look like you've seen a ghost," to which he replies, "I'm not all sure that I haven't." The showrunners never really talked about this, but that didn't stop fans from speculating about Jamie and Claire's uncertain future. Gabaldon has thankfully spoken about Outlander's ending, and she shared that the Outlander story will conclude in 1800. Quote, "I think the Outlander books will end in 1800. If this tells you anything, more power to you," she wrote in the FAQ section of her website. She also said that the story will end in Scotland. Quote, "Yes, the last book will have a happy ending, though I confidently expect it to leave the readers in floods of tears anyway," she notes. The last season of the show will also explain the ghost we've seen in Season 1. That ghost watching Claire when she was on her second honeymoon with Frank in 1945 was Jamie. That's already confirmed. Quote, "The ghost is Jamie, but as for how it fits into the story, all will be explained in the last book," Gabaldon said. But she also wrote that ghosts don't exist in a place where time has meaning. Our theory is the following. Jamie will lose his life before Claire. That's why we see Jamie looking up through the window in Season 1, and the last scene of the show will have Claire passing away, Jamie reaching out for her, and their ghosts meeting in Scotland on a beautiful green field.
Frank? You look like you've seen a ghost.
On a related note, what are your hopes for Jamie and Claire in the future? Let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching.